Hello, my name is Eric from the Ilara HMIS team, and I'm very excited to introduce the new and improved facility dashboard. We've worked it out so that it can help facilities get better visibility into their performance. Now we have a dedicated revenue tracking and the summary dashboard. Let's kick off with looking at the summary dashboard. Now, on the summary dashboard, the first part we have is the date filter. And we've improved the date filter to be able to also have specific time. Now, when you click on specific dates, you can add a time to the dates that you've chosen. Now, this is much better and improved and will help facilities be able to get information for shift-related periods. To do that, you simply need to add the time. Remember to also check the date and at the time, indicating you want records from this particular day, this particular time, between or before or on or even after. Every time after applying the specific filter, make sure to click on update filter and your dashboard will reload with the statistics that meet that criteria you've defined. The next part shows us the total patients registered in the system. This other part shows us new patient registrations within the month that we are in. So this month that we are in, we've had 5 new registrations, and it also does a comparison versus the previous month and tells us, are we having an increase or are we having a decrease? So you can see here we're having an increase of 66.67%. The next part shows the total encounters recorded. This other part shows encounters recorded in the month that we are in and also does a comparison versus the previous month and tells us if we are having an increase or a decrease. This part talks about patients and how they frequent the facility. We have repeat visitors within that period. These are patients who've had more than one encounter. We have single users. These are patients who've only visited the facility once within that period. So this helps you with getting to know how many patients have had revisits and how many patients only came to the facility once. This other part shows us the patients by gender, and we are able to see the gender disparity for the patients that were registered within the period. We also have patients by age group versus also gender comparison. Here we're able to see between age groups what were the genders of the patients recorded and how do they compare versus other genders. So we can see this age group only had male patients. This one had same male and same female. This one had more of female and less of male. This is also very helpful. The other part has total encounters by visit type, and you're able to see the visit type for the encounters that were recorded. Now we can see that consultation had the most encounters, with ANC having 1 and TB clinic having 1. The other part has encounters total count monthly patient new registration. So we are able to track the number of encounters total in a given month versus the number of patient registrations in that month. So we are able to see that last month there were 11 encounters with 3 patient registrations. So this month we are having an increase in patient registration and also an increase in patient encounters. This part informs us about the way we are handling encounters and also the performance of the practitioners being assigned those encounters. We are able to see finished and arrived to mean that Finished represent encounters that were closed. Arrived represent encounters that are still open. You are able to track the practitioners and see how many encounters they've had, or even how many encounters they are leaving open. Because it is good to always close an encounter after finishing up with it. Let's proceed to revenue tracking and see what revenue tracking has. The revenue tracking also has filter by date and time. And when we do that, we'll be able to get new reloaded dashboard with the data that meets the criteria we've defined. We also have patients total count. These are borrowed from the summary dashboard so that they can help us better internalize the information that we are viewing. So I'll talk about the parts that have not been borrowed that are related to revenue tracking. We have bills, average revenue per visit versus previous. This indicates the average revenue per visit in a particular month versus the previous month. You can see in the month of January, this is the average revenue per visit, and this is a drop compared to the previous month, which had a different amount. This tells us the total amount received by the facility. This indicates the amounts that have been paid for through the period we've defined. We have bills total amount monthly, bills average revenue per visit monthly. This does a comparison of monthly total revenue versus the average revenue per visit. Now we are able to see that in the month that we are in, the sum of amount collected is this, and the average a patient will pay for an encounter is this. Then we have revenue breakdown, bills total amount, including unpaid bills by their department. Here we're able to track the performance of the departments, where we're able to see the department type, if it's consultation, investigation, other services, pharmacy, or even procedures, and the amount that has been billed within the period we've defined. Good thing to notice that this does a tally of even payments that are unpaid and even partially paid. Then we have bills total count by bill type. This checks to see the bill type. We can see encounters have had all the bills. We have bills total count. Here we are able to see the bills count if they are open or closed, where we see that we have 59 closed bills and 51 open bills. Here we're looking at bills total amount by department monthly, and it gives visibility into how the performance of the departments are in particular months. You can see this department has had an increase. This is investigation compared to the previous month and also the other previous month. We can see a new department introduced. It had not appeared in the previous months. So this is also helpful in getting visibility in a more easier to comprehend manner. We have bills total count monthly by bill type, and this indicates the bill types and the count of bills recorded within that period. Lastly, we have bills payment grouped by payment method. This one is able to inform us of the payment methods and their respective collections within the period we've defined. You are able to see cash has brought in this amount. And good. That is all on the new and improved facility dashboard. We hope that now you are able to get better visibility into your facility's performance.